Recording. Yay. Okay. I didn't forget to start recording. Hello, people. Hello, hello. Let's see who is coming in here. I'm so excited to see you. Hi. Hello, hello. Say hello. Okay, guys. I will give you a second to join. I'm so excited. Okay. Let's see. Chat is working phenomenal. All right, everybody. Hello and welcome to 3 Steps to Practice Freedom. You made it. Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yay, we're here. It's going to be so much fun. All right, here are the quick rules. On the bottom of the screen, you guys see chat. I actually enabled chat for this class. I normally don't because it can get so messy and we can get distracted, but I trust that you're going to be nice. Yeah. Okay. So before I'm going to share my screen, I'm going to share a presentation with you guys, so slides. Just say hi in the chat. Tell me what kind of specialty. I'm thinking we're all women dentists. This is a presentation for women dentists. I know all of your women. I've seen the names. They're registered, but I want to make sure that we're all dentists. So drop in the chat below, say hi, tell me your specialty or general. And also let me know, guys, if you can hear me, okay? Let me know in the chat or in the Q&A. There's another box on the bottom. Let me know that you can hear and see me, please. I just want to make sure. And in the meantime, I am going to share my presentation with y'all. How is everybody doing? Okay, so we're going to go to the beginning. All right, let's see, Q&A. Chat is disabled. Oh, bummer. Bummer. Okay, how odd. All right, well, thanks for letting me know. I tried to enable it. All right, well, listen, we're going to hang out here in Q&A. I know you guys can't see each other, but I can see you guys and it's a party. Hi, Isha. Hi, is it Arthi? I hope I'm saying your name right. I know we've chatted before, but I hope I'm saying your name right. Okay, so sounds like you guys can see me and hear me okay? Fantastic. So let me share my screen with you and we're going to rock and roll. Woohoo! All right. Fantastic. Okay, I hope you guys can see me. So we're talking today all about the 3 steps to practice freedom, from overwhelm to home by 5. So here's what we're going to cover in today's webinar. We are going to talk about the true reason. There's actually only one reason why it's so hard for us to run practices. Really one. Marketing machine wants you to think that there are many, but it's not true. They want you to buy their stuff. But I'm going to share with you the causation, the true reason, and it's only one. And the best news is there's 3 simple steps, only 3, and they're very simple, of how to turn the day-to-day overwhelm around. Sounds good? All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to start by defining what is practice freedom. Okay, guys? So the topic of this webinar is practice freedom, right? So here's what I mean by practice freedom is not being married to your practice. Can anybody relate to this? Right? Like I used to feel like I used to wake up and think about my business. I used to go to bed and think about my business. I used to bathe my kids and think about my business. It was like constantly just married to it more than to my husband. So freedom is not doing that, not thinking about your problems when you're at home. How many of you guys have children? Let me know. Wouldn't it be nice that we can just come home? Oh, somebody's raising your hands. Hang on, let me see. Guys, if you have questions, put them in the Q&A, okay? I don't know if I can bring people on board, but put your questions in the Q&A. I'm going to answer them, okay? Sounds good? All right. So we all have kids, or most of us have kids, right? Wouldn't it be nice to come home and just know that practice is taken care of? Like, yes, we have problems, but we have a game plan so that you can actually be present for dinner. You can be actually present for homework. Wouldn't that be nice? Or not waking up in 2 in the morning and like, oh my gosh, I have to tell her, and quickly sending an email to your practice manager. So we want to avoid that. Wouldn't it be nice to feel relaxed on a Sunday? Not just have like Sunday scares, but actually feel relaxed and like, oh, Monday's going to be okay. I have a plan. I have a system. and not sacrificing your sleep or health for the sake of your practice. This is what is the goal of today. Okay, I'm going to teach you the 3 steps to have that. They're the fundamental steps of what I teach in my new mastermind, No Stress DDS Mastermind. And in the end, I'm going to tell you guys all about it. But these are the 3 fundamentals. Growing a practice while being a mom has become overcomplicated, y'all, leaving us feel confused, overwhelmed, and worried. But there is a better way, and you deserve a simple way that saves you time, money, and a lot of frustration. I'm going to teach you today the formula that works every single time when you work it. Okay, but why should you listen to me? Who am I? I know there's a couple of you guys who are my clients, but if you're brand new to me, let me introduce myself. My name is Jana. My name is Dr. Jana Konovalenko. I'm a board certified orthodontist, and I'm also a certified life coach. About 6 years ago, I became certified as a life coach, and I got my certification right there, and I started coaching people over Zoom, like what we're talking right now. Not necessarily during the night, but more than half of my time, I am actually coaching as a coach. I'm coaching with women dentists. And I own 2 businesses. I own a coaching business, I own a medical legal business, and I also work as an orthodontist. It's my 3rd job. I also have these 2 beautiful children, Elite and Braun. They're 2 and 1. And I live in Nashville, in Tennessee. Fun fact, we've moved from California about a year ago. So this is a little bit about me. So this webinar is for you if you are a woman dentist. And I know all of you are women. I think all of you are dentists too. Let me know in the chat. So it's for you if you're a woman dentist. It is for you if you're a practice owner and you tend to have people-pleasing tendencies. Almost all of my clients have that. Or maybe sometimes you have mom guilt and you wish that you could spend more time with your kids. Let me know. I want to hear. Let me know in the chat below, which one of the 3 are you? I'm assuming all of you guys are 1. Let me see what I get. Not in the chat, sorry, in Q&A. Let me see how I can access it here. Let me see what we got. Can I see it? Which one are you guys? Do I have to? Let me see. I want to see really quickly. Tanya, I can hear you. Thank you. Thank you. Answering. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. Okay. Yes. Number 1. Number 3. Okay. Amazing. Okay. So we have mom guilt. We're all women. I mean, I'm pretty sure Emma is a woman. Arthi, I know we talked about this. I feel for you, lady. Okay, great. So we have everybody's a 1. So everybody's a woman dentist. We have several practice owners. And Aisha, you're number 2 as well, because you are a practice owner. Okay, amazing. Great. All right, guys, going back. I don't know how to go back and forth, so stay with me. Amazing. Okay, so what if I told you that all of these CE courses, all of the practice consultants that you guys are hiring, courses that you're taking, and the leadership courses, like AAO right now has another leadership course, and the MBA, and all of these courses are not solving your real problem because they're missing the most crucial piece. And today I'm going to tell you what that piece is. Okay, I just want you to crack open, like, why are we hiring practice consultants and we still have headaches? How many of you had practice consultants or know somebody who had hired one? And we still have a headache. I literally just talked to somebody about that, right? We're constantly chasing CE courses and still, like, our days are not smooth. Why is that? There's only one real problem. And I bet you anything it's not what you think. You ready? Let me give you the scenario. So here's what typically happens. Let me come out real quick. Here's what I see typically happen. We graduate residency or dental school, and we start working as an associate. And we're very happy to get a job, right? We have a lot of student loans. And we start working as an associate, and, like, we don't control things. The staff doesn't quite listen to us. They trust or listen to our boss, especially if it's a male boss, better than to us. We have no control over instruments. We don't really control sometimes even treatment plans. And like we would do things a little bit differently. Like we would like a nicer equipment. We would like to maybe not accept these insurances or like do laser or like some other procedures, right? So we're thinking, yeah, I mean, I'm an associate. I don't know, practice ownership. I just want to buy my own practice. It's going to be nice. It's going to be clean. Like I'm going to have train people my way, and I'm going to control who works for me. Like it's going to be so much better. So we buy a practice and we jump into practice ownership. Don't really know what it is. Like nobody really prepared us. Dental school for sure doesn't prepare us for that. And it's like hectic, right? Because we're also a mom, we want to have kids, like biological clock, and it like gets hectic, right? And we're like, okay, like I need a solution. So we start asking around, or we go to Facebook groups, and everybody says, oh, you need systems, you need protocols. You're like, okay, makes sense, right? Like organizing my practice. So what do? I always say you either have time or you have money. So you either sit down and start trying to figure out protocols and systems, or you say, you know what, I don't have time for this. I have kids at home. I'm just going to hire a practice consultant. So you go and you hire a practice consultant. They come in, they train your staff, they create some job descriptions, they put things in place, and then they leave. And you are left to keep your practice going. But you don't know how to hold people accountable because you're nice. You want to people please them a little bit. Yeah. Like you want to avoid confrontation. Like you don't like sharp angles. You've never really done that. And you never really had to do this as an associate, right? So it's like uncomfortable. And so slowly, those tens of thousands of dollars that you paid to practice consultants, those systems start slowly like dissipate. And then a couple of years, you're like, yeah, I had practice consultants, but my practice is still kind of a little bit of a mess. And so you're like, okay, so what's the solution? Another practice consultant? Or typical scenario, you're like, it must be me. Not a good leader. I'm such a people pleaser. I'm kind of a little bit of a pushover. I don't know. I don't know how to motivate people. I need to inspire people so that they would take accountability and they would do their job well. So you make yourself a problem. And marketing around you is only supporting this idea because suddenly you're like, whoop, leadership conference for women only. Come, leadership, MBA, come to Wharton. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever thought about why there are leadership conferences for women, but why there are no leadership conferences for men? Just out of curiosity. Interesting, right? Why are they targeting us? And I'll tell you why in a minute. There's a reason why women need leadership, but not men. And so you go to these conferences and you invest all this time and all this money and you think like, okay, mama's just going to do it. And then you get out and you know like ins and outs of business, but you still spend an hour with an upset patient that just wants to relocate and wants their money back. They don't teach you that in leadership conferences. Let me tell you something. So this is a typical scenario where you take all that time and all that money and do all these things, and then people come to me and they're like, I don't even know if I want to have a practice. Like, why am I doing this? I don't even know. This is like too much. This is crazy. What was I thinking? I just want to be an associate. So let me share with you what's happening. Oh, yeah, people are saying, interesting. They definitely don't teach that. So let me share with you exactly what's happening. All right, let me see. I lost my share button. So here, ladies, is the real reason why it's so darn hard to run a business as a woman, especially as a mom, is because of how we're socialized, is because of what we think about the practice, about employees, about sales, about money, about debt, about being a mom, about all of this, about all our roles, our socializing, simply what we think. And here's what I mean by that. We think that, we don't like confrontation, right? Like just recently, just today, I actually coached somebody and she's an orthodontist and she debonded somebody, took braces off from a patient, did a beautiful job. Patient was happy. Patient is a male. The doctor is a female. Patient was happy. sign the release consent, like pictures, like everything is great. Patient leaves, retainers received, everything is great. And 3 weeks later, she starts receiving these really aggressive, angry emails. The patient is accusing her of being, quote, incompetent, doctor. What did you do? My bite is all off. I went to get a second and third opinion, and they told me that you cheaped me out. You should have given me more retainers, and my teeth are crooked. It's a worn down dentition, an adult. Like, obviously, it's not going to be perfectly straight. Like, you guys orthodontists know what I'm talking about. And so it was a perfect debond. They took braces off. The patient was perfectly happy. 3 weeks later, the patient starts sending angry emails. What do you think my client does? She doesn't want to do anything. And she says, I just don't like confrontation. Ugh. Like, this patient gives me, like, I don't feel good about this whole situation. And I go, what confrontation? The patient was happy about the debond when they would take braces off. The patient was happy about their smile. So the fact that he sends you angry emails, he's just being confused. Like, he went to got some other opinions. They told him some stuff. He misinterpreted. So there's just confusion going on. We just need to clear up confusion. There's no confrontation. Do you see how differently I think about it? We are socialized to think differently. We are literally trained to think everybody says, "Bah," and we go, "Ooh, uncomfortable." No, there's a very different way to think about it. The guy's just confused, right? Or I had a client who she has a startup practice, and she hired the office manager for part-time hours. They discussed it specifically. And now suddenly the manager wants full-time hours. And my client is like, "Ugh, I don't know, maybe I should just pay her. I don't want to have like uncomfortable conversations. I don't want to have a confrontation with her." And she started rationalizing paying even though her business cannot afford it. And I don't see any confrontation here. There's just misunderstanding. The front desk office is misunderstanding the agreement that they had. So we can just have a conversation about it. Do you see how different it feels when you have this approach? It's not a confrontation. We as women, we are so programmed to think that I'm only good, whatever that means. I'm only good if I'm agreeable, if I'm accommodating, if I'm likable. We want our team to like us so much because we think they're going to do a better job and the vibe is going to be better, right? We want to make everybody happy. And so we take responsibility for everyone. This way of thinking is what gets us in trouble. Not that we're not a good leader, not that we need to be a better doctor. This is what I'm talking about. And so there's actually a very simple way to think differently in just 3 steps that I'm going to teach you today. Okay, you guys ready? All right. So the step number 1 is we need to learn to think like a CEO. Okay. Step number 2, we're going to step into our authority. You already have an authority, my friend. You don't need to be a great leader. There's already a leader inside of you. Leaders don't start practices. Leaders don't go to dental school. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why your office manager is an office manager. Like, she could have gone to dental school, no problem. Like, even if she's an immigrant, I'm an immigrant. Some of you are probably immigrants. We'll figure it out. Loans, money, we'll figure that stuff out. When there's a will, there's a way, right? So authority is not something that's learned. Authority, that's something that you're born with, but you just need to step into it. And I'm going to tell you today a very simple way to do it, okay? And then finally, in order to avoid mom guilt and to have that protected time with our family, I'm going to teach you how to schedule around life, not to have life around your schedule. Okay? All right, let's dive into the first principle. What does that even mean to think like a CEO? A CEO knows how to stay confident even on her worst day. She knows how to make clear yes or no decision. They're based on her goals. That's how she makes them. A CEO knows how to stand firm when your staff pushes back for a raise. CEO knows how to attract ideal patients without sounding pushy. Think about it. When you can become a walking billboard for your practice easily, without like selling people, without like, please, please come, without convincing or like, you really need this treatment. If you just become this magnet for people to come, patients to come to your practice, marketing will become simple. And that is a job of a CEO. The CEO makes sure the doctor has enough patients. That's what I'm going to teach you guys, okay? And the CEO has clear thinking even when everything just all hell breaks loose. They're hand, foot, mouth at home, like with my kids. We haven't slept in 2 days. We can still stay clear. That's the CEO mindset. And these are just simple principles that shift your approach. Remember, it's all about how we're thinking. When we're thinking like a CEO, it shifts your approach. And I'm going to give you one of the examples. In the mastermind, I teach you multiple of these principles, but today I'm going to give you this one super powerful principle, which when my private clients use this, it really, really helps them. Okay. So it's called the process problem and not the person problem. You see right there on the bottom. So I'm going to come out again so I can explain this to you really, really well. Let me see here. Okay, so what do I mean by a process problem and not a person problem? Hope you guys can see me okay. So I'll give you a specific example. So I want you, whenever you notice problems in your practice, the first instinct is to think that the person is at fault, right? The phone is ringing while I'm working. Ugh, what's wrong with my front desk? Why can't she just do her job, right? The chair is still dirty. Why can't just she turn it around? Like it's just a natural bias towards judging people. Like everybody does it. It's not a like a judgment on you or anything. Like it's just what human brains do, right? They want to find who's at fault. But it's very not helpful because if you're constantly putting blame on people, even like inside of your mind, then it's really hard to talk to these people and your day just sucks, right? Because you're like, ugh, all these people suck, right? Like, I don't know what to do. I need a better team. I need to fire. I need to hire. Right? And instead, I suggest that you guys start thinking it's not a person, it's a process. There's something in my process where there's a problem. And hey, I'm the owner. I can fix the process, right? I can set new rules for them to follow. There's a really good movie. It's called The Founder. It's about McDonald's brothers. I tell it to my clients all the time. Go watch it tonight or maybe tomorrow. The Founder. It's not on Netflix, but I think it's on Amazon. It's about how they designed their kitchen to make it like human proof. Like they did not need to rely on their staff to be great or efficient or anything. Like they literally thought, like perfected the process of how things move in the kitchen to make it bulletproof. So I'll give you a specific example for dental practice. So I have a client who has this like she's a periodontist and she was doing a surgery and she needed like a specific very skinny implant. And the person who does inventory just didn't order. So like imagine you're in the middle of the surgery, you're scrubbed in, you're like did the anesthesia, you cut the gum, you like open the whole thing. If you guys are periodontists, you know what I'm talking about. I'm just laughing from the orthodontist standpoint, how simplified I'm explaining it. But you know what I mean? Like we open the flap, we probably drilled the hole already, and like we don't have an implant. Like what are you gonna do? Not a great situation, right? And the first instinct is just to kill this person, the assistant who does inventory. And so she was like, okay, maybe it's like a one-off. And then the same thing happens again, like a month later. And so my client got so upset at this assistant and she was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I'm going to have to let him go. And I suggested, okay, not a person, a process. What can I change in my process? And when we start thinking this way, this is what I call think like a CEO. Then what we did is the simple solution was, okay, somebody has to double check his inventory. So she literally assigned a manager or front desk, I don't remember, to check after this guy when he does inventory. Boom, mistakes stopped. Such a small tweak. Process, not a person. Boom, everything got done. Another problem I see so often, and I'm sure we used to run in these problems too, and I'm sure you guys run in the same thing, scheduling, right? Scheduling is like a buzzword for everybody. My client could never leave home on time to see her kids because there are always emergencies, especially at the end of the day. There's like always emergencies in her schedule. She's an oral surgeon. And we started thinking, okay, process, not a person. So what's in the process? If it's not like my staff that's careless about following the schedule, that's the initial line of thinking. What if it's a process problem, not a person? What could we improve in the process? You know what we did? She refined what an emergency means. So there was just a confusion. Like her staff thought that when the patient comes in and say, oh my gosh, I have an emergency, that's an emergency. But for my client, from the dentist standpoint, she's like, no, it's when there is fever or they say they're in agony or like they're visibly in pain. Like these are the symptoms. Or if there's like something huge abscess, they just have to go to ER. Or here's a list of referrals, right? So like once she refined this process, boom, she never had emergencies again after 5, and she was always leaving home at 5. So this is what I mean, guys, okay? Process, not a person. I want you to write this down, make a note about it, and I want you tomorrow when you go to your office and something irritates you, remember what I told you today. Okay, it's not a person, it's a process. Write it down because we're going through a day, we're busy. Write it down somewhere, like send yourself a text so that later you can sit down, maybe when you're driving home, you can think about it. Okay, if it was a process, what can I improve in my process to change that? Okay, I hope that makes sense. Oh boy, how did I get back? All right, let me go back to my presentation. Let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, they don't teach that. Okay, amazing. So let me go back to sharing my screen. Okay. Last week. So here's what I want to show you. Like I just gave you an example, but this principle works so well. And it's one of several principles that I teach in my mastermind. But I just want you guys to not just listen. I want you to implement it, write it down, make a note so that tomorrow you can try it. Listen to one of my clients. When she tried this principle, watch what happens. Last week. So this past 3 weeks in April has been exceptional. Like I just like, it was like I achieved new high in my whole dental office career. Do you see what I'm saying? This stuff really works, this formula, if you work it, okay? I hope you guys could hear the volume. Okay, so that was step number 1, thinking like a CEO. Let's keep moving. Step number 2, stepping into authority. I know this is going to be a juicy one because so many of us struggle with people pleasing, and that stands in the way of us having great communication with our teams and having boundaries and actually leaving on time. And by the way, stepping into your authority doesn't just apply to your team, it applies to our husbands as well and our kids, especially their teenagers. Like once you step into your authority, your relationship with your husband is going to be so much better. And I'm going to teach you right now that something called the authority paradox, okay? Again, it's one of the principles that I teach in one of these pillars in my mastermind. So here's what I want you to hear. The authority paradox states that being nice actually makes it harder for your staff to follow through. Did you guys hear me? Being nice makes it harder for your team to follow through. Here's why. When we soften our requests to be nice, we create confusion. Okay? Things like, Sally, do you think you could call this patient from yesterday? Do you think you could call this patient? We think we're being nice, but we're creating an illusion that she has an option to not call. And then we're so confused why it's like noon and she still hadn't called. Because we were not direct. Do you see what I'm saying? Niceness, in air quotes, create actually confusion. Confusion leads to mistakes. And what do we do when our staff makes mistakes? That's right, we micromanage them. Nobody likes that. Micromanaging adds extra work for you, okay? So I just want you to, again, make a note of this or take a screenshot. People pleasing creates micromanaging because you're not clear. And when people say, well, but I want them to like me, I want us to have a good vibe, let me tell you a secret. When we're people pleasing people, we're actually lying to them because we're not being the real us. We're not telling them the truth of what we want. So even if they end up liking you, they don't like you. They like the people pleasing version of you. They don't really like you. They don't really like to work for you. I just want you to think about it. Next time you try to be nice for the sake of lubricating the relationship. Okay. Here's what I want you to etch in your brain. Clear. Did I skip a slide? No, I did. I think I did. I did. Real authority is about setting clear expectations, guys. Not being nice, but being very, very clear. Because the more we try to control, the actually less authority we have. Because we're like trying to grab onto something, on everything. And the team without clear leadership feels anxious and unstable. Strong leadership creates that security and confidence for your team. And the way you achieve strong leadership is through clarity of job descriptions, expectations, your requests. And in the mastermind, I will give you actual templates for job descriptions. And I will give you actual scripts of how to make very direct but polite requests, right? Instead of, do you think you could? I want you to say, I need this done. Like, I need you to call this patient by noon today, please. Polite, very precise, very direct. If she doesn't follow through, well, now we have a performance expectation conversation, which I will also help you literally with the scripting. But you want to start focusing on to, I'm not trying to be mean or like too direct or bold. You are being clear. Look at this here. Being clear from the start is the true kindness. Take a screenshot or make a note of this, okay?
My name is Marcella Radojvic. I am an orthodontist and I have been working with Shauna for almost 6 months now. I initially came to Shauna with overall general interest in taking my practice and personal life kind of to a next level with goal setting and time management. And I've gotten so much more than that in the process of working with her. I've really gained so much confidence in my decision making, both as a leader in my practice as well as in my own home as a mother of young children. She's helped me find time where I didn't realize I had it, and she's helped me learn valuable tools with becoming more influential as both a leader and in all my personal relationships.
So this is what happens, ladies, when we are clear. I taught Marcella how to set these more clear expectations. They are, in essence, more direct, but it just created so much more authority and autonomy for her, not just at work, but also at home in her personal relationships. So, this is the power of stepping into your authority. Okay. So, remember, make a mental note about the authority paradox. Okay, guys. All right. So, the last piece, remember just 3 steps: thinking like a CEO, process problem, not a person problem, stepping into your authority, clear expectations. The last piece is scheduling around life, not scheduling life around your schedule. Okay. All right. So this is the piece that eliminates mom guilt. This is the piece that makes sure that you have time to exercise, that you have time to sleep, that you have time to just scroll guilt free and not like in between patients and feeling bad about it. Okay. So let's look at what I'm talking about here. How do we schedule around life and not life around our schedule? I teach this technique to my clients and in the mastermind called the Power Hour. So the tool I want you to walk away with is time blocking. So what time blocking is blocking, literally what it sounds, blocking pieces of your time, like an hour, 2 hours, half an hour off your calendar for activities ahead of time. And what you want to do is you want to schedule your family and me time first. This is the secret sauce. Typically, what we do is we start scheduling patients and all appointments and all this and then the other. And then we're like, oh, there's no time for me because we have overscheduled our life because we never had a clear picture in the first place. So, what I do with my clients, I'll actually look at your schedule. And there's some of my clients here that they can attest. Too bad chat is not working so you guys could see what you're saying, but I literally sit down with my clients and I look at we open the calendars. Some of them are not even using it, not a problem, very easy to start doing. And we're start literally blocking chunks of time and looking how we can fit in the to-do list, setting priorities and organizing into place. And a very important thing is I want you to, like the last piece here, run your own race. Here's what happens. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, there's like, I don't have time to even breathe. Like, I don't even know how I made through how I made this through this webinar. I'm like brushing teeth, cooking and shaving at the same time and trying to like listen. There's just so many things going on, right? Like listen, I get it. I'm a mom and I have two businesses too. So I completely, and a woman. So I completely understand. But what I realized is that what we do in our practices is we set these goals that are very arbitrary. And we do them by looking at what other people are doing and what goals they're setting. And so we look at maybe some friends or some Facebook groups, and people are shooting for this amount of production or this many starts or this many patients. We're like, oh my God, I'm nowhere near. Like, I gotta push, I gotta push, I gotta run, I gotta grow. And we're not realizing that the person that we're looking up to is like a dude with a wife that's a stay-at-home mom, right? Like it's not even an equal comparison. So can we just own our own, like stay in our own lane and have our own race? Let's like we started these practices so that we could have freedom of schedule, didn't we? We started practices so we can have this flexible schedule and be a mom. And now we're letting this practice own us. Let's not do that. Okay. Let's just sit down and figure out, okay, you're either a breadwinner or you're not. If you're not, it makes it easier. Like all these goals that you have are completely self-imposed and the pain is self-inflicted. And if you are a breadwinner, amazing. But also let's look at, okay, exactly what's our support system exactly, like how much do we need to produce and like truly where we're at. Because a lot of the time, like almost all of the time when I sit down with people, I'm like, oh my gosh, everything's on fire, I'm in the red, and like we're gonna have to sell our house and we're gonna be homeless and my children will never eat fresh fruit again. And then we sit down and we look at the numbers, like, actually, we do have a 401k and we do have some savings and we do have some rental properties and we do have in-laws that we don't love, but they could do childcare for free. And like, there's all these pockets and like, I don't really have to push, but like, it would be nice because everybody's growing. See what I'm saying? So like, let's just have this realistic idea of how much we want to grow, not just for the sake of growing and keeping up with some bros on the internet. Like, screw that. Let's just figure out a way that is sustainable. That's the word I'm looking for. Sustainable growth for you, my friend, while being a mom and practicing the way you want to practice. Okay. This is what I mean by running your own race. Whenever I help my clients create the schedule and block things, we have to kind of step back a little bit and decide, okay, what exactly, where exactly are we heading? Like, what exactly are we trying to create? Okay. And I'm going to help you do that literally individually. Okay. And also for many of us, an hour seems like insane, right? The power hour, take a whole hour. That's what I help my clients do. We take 1 hour out of a week and we plan our entire week. But for you right now, you might be like losing your mind thinking, there's no way I don't have an hour. So just start with 15 minutes. Like literally when you get off this call, I want you to look at your calendar or like look at your phone and think about, okay, when can I grab 15 minutes of uninterrupted time, no distractions, no mama, no pulling on anything, no answering phone calls, and I'm just going to sit down and look at my week, look at my list and figure out a little bit of a structure. I guarantee you, even 15 minutes will make you feel so much more in control. Planning first means that your family time gets protected. That's how we avoid mom guilt. Mom guilt is just an emotion that comes from thinking, I should be with my baby right now. I should be spending more time. Or I'm missing XYZ. So let's solve for that situation by actually planning our time and protecting. And then setting boundaries that I'm going to teach you to. Okay. So I'm going to have a little mindset chat with you right here because right about now, when I teach this concept of scheduling your time, I hear from people, there's just no way. There's just no way. I'm so unorganized. I don't even know my butt from my face. And like, it's, you don't understand. It's just so crazy. Let me come off so I can here's going to be a little mindset chat between me and you. So you saw the bicycle, and the reason why I had the picture of the bicycle is here's what happens to us. We are all on a metaphorical bicycle. The way we live our lives, like you wake up and you probably go, 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 right? There's so many things that need your attention at home. There's so many things in the practice, the kids, the bills, the husband. And so you try to pedal on the bike as fast as you can to keep up with life. Like you don't even know where we're heading exactly, but like there's no time to stop and think. There's just none. Because you look to the right, you look to the left, and everybody's pedaling. You're like, I gotta pedal faster to try to get to the bottom of my to-do list. And have you noticed that the strategy is not working? That is the recipe for burnout. That's why there's an epidemic of burnout. That's why so many women leave practices, especially when they're moms. They just sell them, they become associates. This is literally the whole reason why I started this mastermind is because my clients came to me, a lot of them with, I can't handle the stress of the practice ownership anymore. I just want to sell it. And I was like, great, let's do it. And then they ended up keeping it and completely changing their life and improving. And now they're like, I don't have a lot of people like this in my life. Like I don't have a lot of, I don't know a lot of women owners who are also moms and are like not hating practice ownership. That is literally the whole idea why I've created this mastermind to bring you guys together. Because when you add a thinking, remember, like you start dealing with your socialization and you start unlearning what you've been told to think, like your whole life just cracks open to you in a whole different level. Ownership becomes so much easier, managing your time, dealing with your kids. It's like you just become such a completely different person. But in order to get there, you have to get off this bike because right now you're pedaling so fast. You have to get off this bike and plug in the coordinates of where you're going into the GPS so that you can drive. Right? You logically know that if you drive, you will get there to your destination, whatever that is. Happy practice, happy mom, retirement, whatever your destination is. Most of us don't even know. That's also part of what I teach. Don't worry about it. But you will get to the destination faster if you plug it in the GPS, but that requires the scary moment of getting off the bike when everybody's pedaling and actually plugging in the coordinates in the GPS. The analogy of the GPS is you taking 15 minutes to look at your week and plan. Okay, so I just wanted to have this little chat to encourage you that if it feels like you're wasting time, it's normal that it feels like this, but the results that it's going to create are insane. And I'm going to show you right now in the minute. Let me see. Can you guys? Okay, perfect. Okay, just want to make sure you guys could hear me. So let me just show you what one of my clients, Ashley, created when she finally was like, okay, I don't know. I'll try it. I'll try it your way for a month. She gave it a try and watch what she created.
Gosh, coaching has been fabulous. It's been a huge game changer for me. When I first started, I came in a tad skeptical. I was at a cornerstone of my career where it was all about excelling, advancing, and being perfect. And I just really thought that was just part of the process. And the anxiety and the frustration and the overthinking, which just came with it. So with your coaching, I was able to establish new ways of thinking, new methods and new processes. And it's been fantastic. So now I'm approaching my day with more efficiency, more focus, and less time with better results. So definitely a big believer in the coaching.
So this is what happens, guys, when you implement these 3 simple steps and actually start like working on them. So here's your system, okay? Screenshot this or take notes, but probably just screenshot it. This is the 3 simple things that I have told you today that will truly be that causal solution to our problems. One, we need to start thinking like a CEO. And today I gave you one of the shifts that I teach my clients in the mastermind and in private coaching. Process problem, not a person problem. Okay. I want you to start thinking like literally just when you get off this call, I want you to think like, I'm a CEO because that's what you are. Like, really, that's who you are. Even if you don't own the practice yet, but you are strongly considering, you are strongly considering being a CEO. And we don't say it loud enough and proud enough as women. We usually like brush it off, like, I'm an orthodontist. No, I'm a effing CEO of a business. Like when people ask me, what do you do? I'm like, I own a company. Actually, I say I own companies. That's how I train to tell to say to people. It's such a mindset shift. You start taking yourself so much more seriously. You don't get into this little like back and forth with your staff when you think like this. Okay. So thinking like a CEO, step number 2 is we're going to learn to set very clear expectations and then you let go. Okay. And if this seems overwhelming, you're like, I don't have any time to write down any job descriptions or any of that. I've got you covered. In the mastermind, I will actually give you templates for job descriptions. I'm going to give you a template for how to have a performance review with your staff. You can even customize it for your practice, like change your logo and colors. And I'm actually going to teach you how to do it. So it's literally done for you. Or if you're like, I don't want to do any of this, I would just rather outsource and hire a practice consultant. You totally can. And guess what? I even have a checklist for you on how to hire a great practice consultant. Okay. But I want you to always, it doesn't matter if you're doing this or you're outsourcing, you're the quarterback. So I always want you to remember that I just need to be very clear, set clear expectations. Okay. And lastly, time blocking your week. That's what ensures that we're going to have plenty of time with our kids. We're going to be a present mom, that we are going to not have mom guilt. That's what I had. I had mom guilt when I first started my businesses too. And then I was like, we're going to nip it in the butt real quick. We're going to clean it up. So I've done this technique and then I've done it with my clients and it had worked over and over and over again. Okay. So this is your 3-step systems that I want you to take away from this webinar. So right now, and for some reason there's supposed to be a picture here, I want to tell you guys about the mastermind that I am having specifically for women dentists. So these 3 things I'm actually teaching on the bigger scale inside my mastermind, which is specifically for women dentists. It's a 6 months long container that starts in January. So we're going to enjoy our holidays, and then comes New Year, we're going to start it until July. Okay. And here's what I'm going to teach you guys in the mastermind. So remember, the first step was thinking like a CEO. So here's what you're going to learn if you guys join my mastermind. You're going to learn ways to stay confident even when you're having a bad day. How helpful would that be? I'm going to teach you the secrets of thinking like a CEO that makes you a great leader, and how to stand firm when patients push back for discounts. I have a really simple process for that, of how to think. You're going to learn how to attract your ideal patients without being pushy. I know a big thing, especially if you're a new practice owner, is we need new patients. That's the reality. We need to bring in some cash flow. But how do you bring these patients? How do you sell? I hate this word sell, but like, how do you showcase what you do without sounding like weird and pushing and salesy? There's actually a very simple process that I teach in the mastermind. And I'm going to teach you how to have very clear thinking when everything feels overwhelming. Because as we know, emotions come from our thinking. Then another big process in the mastermind is team excellence code. So remember, I taught you a piece today, how to step into your authority. It's a small but very important piece of a bigger team excellence code. What I mean by that is I will teach you exactly how to get your team to listen and step up. Wouldn't that be nice? I'm going to teach you how to hire smartly and fire confidently. I'm going to teach you both strategies and give you some done for you, like I said, templates, checklists, even a checklist how to hire a practice consultant, how to perform performance reviews, the mindset and the strategy. Literally all you need to create a dream team. Because guess what? Dream team is not found. It's not just somebody you hire and then you pay them a bunch of money and like you have a unicorn, as I call them. These teams are created, but it's easier than you think. Really, it is easier than you think. And then the last piece is my time freedom method. So in this mastermind, I will teach you how to create personal time. Nobody has time. Nobody has like an hour lying around. You guys didn't have this hour lying around. You made time to come to this webinar, to listen to this. You made this a priority, and I applaud you for this because you are doing something for you. You are telling me right now that you are serious about your practice, about your quality of life. You are serious about your children, about your family, because you want to figure out how to make this work. You want to figure out what's the best solution to have a sustainable life. And that is what I'm going to teach you guys in this time freedom method. How to manage your practice even when there's just a total chaos at home. And how to set boundaries, because the schedule is not going to work if you let people interrupt you or you let your brain interrupt you. So we are going together build a schedule that works for you.
Hi.
And I just want to let you know that I am not special. I just found the system that works. But listen from my clients. Don't just believe me.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm an orthodontist. And I am here to highly recommend Shauna and her program of coaching for any woman or anyone that is struggling with any issues about overwhelm or your practice or your personal life or your relationships with family and friends or husbands, um, even weight loss. She helped me with every aspect of my life, and I've completely transformed in a year. And I thank her so much.
Aw, thank you, Stephanie.
My name is Amber Parrish, and what I loved about coaching with Shauna is that I had more clarity at the end of being coached by her than when I came to the session. So I felt her support. She's so warm and yet so direct. She has a way of asking questions that helps me see the bigger picture quickly.
Aw.
Coaching experience has been absolutely incredible. So I have taken away so many coaching tools that Jana has shared with me. It's been really revolutionary to be able to think about different belief systems and what I need to do to be able to take action to reach the goals that I need to do. And it's been really enjoyable as well. So it's been really fun. I've really looked forward to every next call that I've had with Jana as well.
Oh, me too. Thank you, Nadia. So you guys see the system works, not just for one person, but for multiple people. And what I've done is I've been refining it on my private one-on-one clients, and they wanted a community. So this is the beauty of this mastermind, is that not only am I going to teach you a step-by-step process to create sustainable life, to create a thriving practice while being a present mom, we also are going to have an amazing community of other dentists, moms, practice owners, where we will all support each other. And it's very different than any like Facebook group out there, right? There are Facebook groups for like mom owners or like orthodontists or periodontists and things like that. But this is very different. For one, I'm really cherry picking who will go in this group, and it's going to be a very small mastermind. It's not going to be more than 10 people. I'm doing consultations with people one-on-one, and I'm making sure that this is a good fit. This is very important to me because I want to make sure that the levels of conversations that we're having there are very high level. Your time is super precious and it's very important to me. And so I want to make sure that when you go in there, not only do you have support, but it's also very high caliber help. And in addition to that, I don't know what's going on, but there's supposed to be a picture of me here. I'm going to move it like this. You are also, as a bonus in this mastermind, you're going to get a one-on-one support with me. So part of it are going to be one-on-one calls. We can just talk all about it on our
My name is
consultation.
Carla. I've been working with Shauna.
And I want to share with you another of my clients who talks about how does she feel about what it's like interacting and working, and what was her experience.
And the reason that I started working with her is because I feel like my emotions were being controlled in the workplace and I didn't want to be controlled by my emotions. So she has taught me techniques and opened up my mind to think different things, process things differently, not take them so personally. It has helped me tremendously with emotions at work, with my personal relationships, family, friends. It's just an open way of thinking, and it makes me feel better emotionally. So I highly recommend her. She's non-judgmental. I feel like she's my diary. Like I can tell her anything and I don't feel she's going to judge me. She's there to support me. Um, and I feel like I'm a better person overall. I am still on this journey with her, and I feel like I have really healed since I have started with Jana. So I highly recommend her.
Oh, she's so sweet. Thank you. I created this, I was creating this presentation. I was adding all these testimonials and I'm like almost crying every time I watch that. Thank you so much, guys. Everybody who did that. So, guys, are you excited? I hope you're as excited as me. All right, again, I don't know what's going on with the presentation. There was supposed to be a beautiful picture of me, but listen, we're rolling with this. So I want you to think right now. Ladies, imagine, just imagine for a second, what could your life look like 6 months from now? Just picture it. It's July 2025. You're waking up. You've learned how to think like a CEO. You tell people, I own a practice. I'm a CEO. You hold your head straight. You communicate very clearly with your team. You tell them exactly what you want. You are authentic, you're kind, you own it, and they actually listen to you. Finding a new employee is easy. You know how to do it. Your ad is ready, which by the way, I'm also going to give you a script for an ad in the mastermind. It's easy to hire. The process is smooth. You know how to hold them accountable. Like things feel so sustainable and in control. And you can actually, for the first time, truly be present with your kids. You're like, I can't believe it. Like, practice, like, there's always going to be something. Isn't that true? There's always something in practice ownership that we can improve or in life. But you feel like, I think I've got it. You're like, I got it. That's how I want you guys to feel in July 2025. I want you to have a plan how to get there. And with the mastermind this is my intention to help you do that. And so here's what you might be thinking. This sounds amazing and I can't wait to learn more, but Jana, I am too busy. I don't know if I'm going to have time for any of this. Like, this sounds amazing, but like, how's it going to work with my busy schedule? Listen, like I said, nobody has an hour lying around or any amount of time. We make time for things, but I thought about you. I know how busy you are. And here's what I did. I have created so many opportunities for you to engage in the mastermind and only take what you need. You don't have to participate in everything to get the exact result that you want. So here's how I did that. I actually am going to pre-record. Remember how I told you that there are these concepts of how to think like a CEO, how to schedule your time, how to create an excellent team. So I've actually pre-recorded mini short under 10-minute lessons for you that you can listen on the app on your phone. How amazing is that? You're gonna just download this app, and then whenever you are driving or you're in the shower or you just have a quick second or you just on a walk, you can just hop, listen to a lesson and implement it right then and there. Not to mention the amazing support it is. Like, I listen to webinar or podcasts all the time, but they're typically long. These are like short and applicable and actionable, and it's give you that little bit of a boost. So I definitely thought of that. Then we have coaching calls that are all recorded. Okay. So you can pop in, you can pop in whenever you want, you can listen at your leisure whenever you have time. Like, it's totally flexible. But let's say you have a question and you can't really make it to a live coaching call. We're going to have group calls. I thought about this too, my friend, and you're going to receive an email a couple of days before the call with a Google form where you can put your question, your exact question, and I'm going to answer it live. And then you can just listen to the recording. And remember, you have one-on-one support. If you're like, you know what, I just need to like catch some breath and I need to talk to you, you can even talk to me one-on-one. And finally, if you have kiddos and you don't have childcare, like I haven't had childcare in 2 years, just today we finally hired a full-time nanny, hallelujah, you can bring your kiddos on the call. Okay, this is not like uptight old businessy kind of mastermind. Like, we are all women. We all have stuff. Most of us are moms or moms to be. Like, it's totally fine. You can bring your kids. Obviously, I'm going to mute you. If you're not speaking, when you're speaking, I'm going to unmute you. But it's relaxed here. Okay, ladies, it's just us. So we're going to make this work. Okay. Now, another thing people sometimes might be thinking, but I don't know what I want. Like, this sounds great, but honestly, like, I don't even know if I want my practice. Like, maybe I should just sell it. And here's what I want to tell you. If I got $1 for every time somebody came on the consultation call with me and I said, okay, so how'd you find me? What would you like help? And they said, I don't really know. I would be a billionaire. So my point is, ladies, this is completely normal. So if you feel like, I don't know, this sounds amazing, there's like so much support and I'm going to learn all this amazing mindset, and you have like made for you templates and tools and the community and the one, I mean, like, this sounds amazing. And it's all like, I don't have to do all of it. Like, I can just cherry pick based on my schedule. That's exactly what I'm saying. You're like, but I don't even know what I want to create. My friend, you're exactly where you need to be. This is what we're going to do. Call 1. The very first call, we're going to get on the consultation call and I'm going to ask you some questions that will help you figure out an answer. Okay, we're going to figure it out. And even if it's not a definitive, I have a way to help you create a game plan so that you will have your 3 essentials for the mastermind that you're working on. Okay, and one of them could be, I want to like troubleshoot if I want to buy a practice. I want to troubleshoot if I implement these things and it makes sense for me to have this practice, to have a sustainable life. Okay. But we're going to have a game plan. And this is my job as a coach, really. Like, it's easy for you. You just sit back and relax, and it's going to be so much fun. I promise you. And then sometimes people think, but I've tried other groups before. Like, I've been in other masterminds. And here's what I want to tell you, my friend. A person who has permanently lost weight has tried a bunch of diets. But then that one diet or that one way of eating worked. And she loses weight for the rest of her life. So let me ask you this question. How do you know that this No Stress DDS mastermind is not that one mastermind that you need? Just want you to think about it. Okay? All right, my sweet friends, I would love to chat with you. Here's the next steps. You actually, in your email right now, if you go, you should have a link to schedule a consult with me where I can answer more of your questions. I'm sure you have some questions, or you may be thinking like, what about this? What about this? Or like, am I a good fit? Or like, what's going on? And this is what I do on consultations, okay? It's a Zoom call, just like what I'm doing right now, but it's going to be one-to-one, specifically with you, one person. And I've opened so many times. I even open times on the weekend because mastermind closes on Sunday, okay? We have 1 week so that I can do consults with you and figure out who would be the best fit for this mastermind. And we're already halfway full. So I want you to go ahead, and I think I've created even an incentive. If you guys book in your consult in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to give you a really cool bonus. How about that? I love bonuses. You know, it's like when you order in Sephora and they're like, get your free sample here. And so I get you 2 free samples, but not quite sample. They're like a whole dish. If you guys book a consult in the next 15 minutes while we're here on the webinar, it's in your email. There is a link where you can schedule so that we can get on the call and we can chat some more about the masterminds and in and outs and look at your specific situation and how what I teach and the structure in the mastermind can support you. Okay, this is literally the whole purpose of the mastermind. Like I said, it's a small group. I don't have a goal. Like, there's 7 of you here. I would not be able to, unfortunately, accept all 7 of you. That's just the reality, because we already have more than 3 people in the mastermind. We could do maybe a next round, but for this mastermind, I really want to make sure that this is a perfect fit. So go ahead and book your consult with me. There's tons of times, like literally tons of time. We hired a nanny, and I told my husband, I'm like, this week is I'm doing consult for mastermind. So I need more time. So you're definitely going to have time. Okay. While the clock is ticking and you guys are going in your email and booking, I am going to answer some questions. So let me hop off. Let me see if I can pull it. Oh my gosh, I have 21 questions. This is so fun. All right, let me see. And of course, I can't access it through here. So I'm going to have to stop sharing. Yay, I got the email. So exciting. Ah, so exciting. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad I found you too, Tanya. Thank you. Oh, Arthi, thank you. I love this too. Oh, you're so welcome. You guys are amazing. Million blocks of bricks just hit me. Oh my God, a million blocks of bricks. Okay, Arthi, you have to tell us what it is. A million blocks of bricks. I'm very curious. Okay, all right, guys. So let me see. Let me see here. Let me move the chat on the bottom, and I'm going to. You guys are amazing. You stayed until the very. Oh, Jenny's here. Hi, Julie. Sorry, guys. I didn't see you because I was presenting. Okay. So let's do some questions. So I got questions from Anisha. Oh, and by the way, Julie and Jenny, if you guys came later, unfortunately, chat is not working. So you can just pop it in the Q&A. All right, I think I just got a question from someone. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all you do for us. Can't wait to be a part of the mastermind. Aisha, I can't wait to have you. Oh, so excited. So excited. All right, ladies. Okay, so let's answer some questions. All right, Anisha asks, this sounds really interesting, but what if I just have personal goals? What if I just won the community? I have some personal goals. Anisha, excellent question. Actually, this is remember I said the reason for this mastermind is my clients that had coached with me, they just wanted a community and they know all these tools and you can talk to them. I'm more than happy to share their names and emails and you've watched their testimonials. This is totally a place for you. This mastermind is definitely a place for you if you're like, everything's going great, like there's always little things that could be tweaked, but like overall, you're like, I think I'm in a good groove, or maybe like your kids are older and they're out of the house, or maybe they're teenagers. This is totally a great place for you because here's what I want to make sure we don't have a misunderstanding. I had this question during the consult the other day. This mastermind is not just business. You guys, come on, ladies. Like, we're not just a bunch of bros here throwing numbers. Like, this is totally not that, right? Like we're women. We have stuff. We have brains. They come up with some drama sometimes, right? I say it lovingly. And like we can all understand and relate. The difference is that I will never let you indulge in this drama. I'm going to coach you out of it. Okay, my friends? And so absolutely, if you have some personal goals, maybe like you're selling the practice and you want to transition more towards your hobbies or maybe your relationship with your husband, it's totally a perfect place because like I said, the first call, I'm going to help you set your goals for the next 6 months and they could be personal and just maintenance of the practice. Okay, great question. All right. Another question, when do we start? Okay, so we start in January. So the mastermind closes, the enrollment closes this Sunday. So today's Monday, December 8th at midnight Eastern, the doors close, okay? So no more. So we only have 1 week to do consults, to talk, and I'll send you all the onboarding information. And then what we're gonna do, December 9th, you're going to get access to the app with all the pre-recorded modules, okay? And then we'll all have fun. And on January 6th, beginning of January, is when we're actually going to start our live coaching calls. Okay, great question. And mastermind is 6 months long. It goes until July. All right. Another question. I have little kids, not sure if I will have time. Yes. Okay, great question. So if you have little kids, 2 things. All the calls are pre-recorded and you can pre-submit your questions and you can grab a one-on-one call and you can have kids on the call. Okay, like literally, I was just recently getting like a deeper certification done, deep dive coach certification, and we did not have nanny like at all, right? So it was me and my husband trying to manage. I work 3 jobs, he works 2 jobs, but somehow part-time. It's complicated. But anyway, like I had kids on the call, so you can totally have kids on the call. I'm going to mute you if you're not talking, right? So that other people can talk. But you can totally bring your kids on the call if you don't have time. Okay, how can I learn more? The best way to learn more is to schedule a consultation. And there's a link in your email. If you go to your email right now from Dr. Jana, hopefully it didn't go your promotions, just type my name, Dr. Jana, and there's going to be an email. I think it's like with the fire emoji. Your bonus expires. You're going to see what the bonus is. And there's a link to schedule a consultation. So I have tons of available opportunities. Schedule a call so we can talk some more, so I can customize it. It's harder on the webinar to explain how this framework fits for each person, but it's so much easier one-on-one when I can actually customize and show you what you can create. Okay, so consultation is the best way to find out more. Okay. All right. I think this is it. All right, ladies, let me just double check. I think we're all done. Thank you so much. This is incredible. Like, so many of y'all stay here. I'm so excited. I will send the replay if you want to re-listen. We have 1 week. I hope this was super helpful. Remember the 3 things. It's a process problem, not a person problem. Remember clarity, clear. Authority paradox, time blocking, even if for, of course, in celebration on Zoom, even if it's only for 3 or 15 minutes. Okay, my friends, I hope to see you on the consultation. Thank you for doing what you're doing. Thank you for being the example for your daughters and for your sons, for what it's like to be a strong, compassionate, amazing mom, for what it's like to be a leader, even when you don't feel sometimes like you are, because you are. You are the example for little girls of what it's like to have it all. Not the Kim Kardashian, not the stuff that we see on Instagram. You are. You are making the real difference. And I don't think you give yourself enough credit. So I am here to tell you, you are amazing. Have a beautiful night, my friends. Talk to you later. Bye.